Hello, hello, my beautiful people. How are you guys doing? How are you enjoying AfriMoms? It's rocking. Hey, where are you tuning in from? Let us know where you're tuning in from. This is Samu Gumbi, the mompreneur, your host for AfriMoms. If you haven't liked this channel, if you haven't subscribed, it's time to do that down below. Guys, listen, is it makeup? Can you see how my skin is looking? Is it lipstick? Is it cosmetics? Is it hair that you're looking for? Today, I've got an amazing friend. I've got an amazing lady. I don't know where you are, but you know what? She can deliver wherever you are. I've got a good friend of mine that I'm going to introduce. Get yourself ready. Let me count you down and let's bring it on. Okay. Yay, we're back. Hi, Bridgette.
Hi, Samu. How are you?
I'm good. How was your January? How has it been?
It's been hectic. A mixture of everything here. It's been a mixed bag.
I tell you, starting the year, getting back to business, February is settling in a bit, hey?
No, it's not easy. Hi, we had Reno's end of December, so trying to settle. It's yeah. But we're happy with where we are. We're not complaining.
Awesome. No, Bridgette, you know what? People will be thinking, oh my God, Sammy is just talking to a friend. But hey, let Africa know. Let Africa know who is this beautiful lady that I'm bragging about my skin. Woo.
Hello, everybody. My name is Bridgette Sibanda. I'm in my 40s. I'm a mom of 2, and I'm an entrepreneur. That's basically, yeah, and I'm Christian. I think that's another important aspect of who I am.
Yes, you can't leave that one out, hey?
No, I wouldn't be here. Oh my goodness, like just me taking this breath right now, it's by the grace of God. Hey.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. It is. Bridgette, you know what? We've had what I'm doing is I'm talking to women from all over Africa. I don't know where women are watching us from, and where are you? Where are you so that people can get to understand where you're at?
I am in Harare, Zimbabwe. That is where I am.
Wow. Guys, this is another woman from Zimbabwe who is a seasoned entrepreneur. I think she didn't do justice to that, but we'll hear her when she tells us.
Well, if you say I'm seasoned, I'll take that.
You know what? This thing doesn't come easy, Bridgette. And I have seen you and I've learned from you, and I'm like, Hibo, this lady, she keeps going on and keeps going on. So
how you like? How is she still here? Yes,
I'm still here. Ladies, you get to understand why I'm talking about Bridgette. I see lipstick. I see foundations. I see eyeshadows, and it's not your common products that you have. So please, just we are. You know what? I've got my water. I'm ready to get this so that I understand where you are coming from. Why cosmetics? What's your background? Maybe let us start from there, and then you bring us on. Hey.
Not a problem. You'll be shocked to know that my background has nothing to do with cosmetics. I'm actually a business person. I studied business studies. I'm an all-round business person, if I can put it that way. Really, for me, okay, let's just, the nature of our business is we sell cosmetics, we sell hair care. Cosmetics for us will include your makeup and your skincare. It's not just the makeup only. So we try and cover a woman's body from top to bottom. What are they going to apply on their hair, on their face, on their eyes, and their lips? So that's why I'm saying we try and cover it top to bottom. Our aim is really to try and be a one-stop shop, which is still a work in progress, but for the most part, we are there. So yeah, that's basically who we are. That's the nature of our business. We currently located in Harare, which is our main branch. Please, when I say branch, don't expect like one big, huge building. This is cosmetics we are talking about. Imagine a lipstick, it doesn't take that much space. Anyway, I'll explain that. That's another thing that makes this industry quite interesting. And then we also have an office in Bulawayo as well. So that's, yeah, that's those are our two branches.
Okay.
Yeah,
Wow. Wow.
yeah.
Bridget, you're talking about cosmetics and you're saying it's not much space. Please tell me more. What are you talking? Because I've got a woman who is out there saying, I want to sell this, I want to do this. And you're saying, don't expect a big branch. What are you talking about?
Let me tell you what I've realized is I don't know whether I don't know what to call it, whether it's an African mentality or what, I don't know. I'm not sure what to label it. People are looking for these huge shops, you know what I mean? And then they are forced to put things that either do not sell or they are forced to fill up stocks that will last them for a year. I can't stand, for example, a product staying on the shelves for 3 months without being sold. I'll put it on special and let it go. Basically, what I mean is you don't need a big space to start a cosmetic business. A small room is big enough. Sometimes, especially when you start, you won't even fill up that room because remember, these are small little items, but they are high value. So you spend a lot of money in just trying to stock up. So it's important for you to start small. That is my advice to women. Start small. Don't look for a huge space. Start small. That is what I always say. And like I'm saying, what's the point of you, for example, I'll put it in Zimbabwean terms, of you paying $1,000 on rentals when you are making $2,000? It makes no business sense. Yet you can literally pay $300 and use $700 to grow your business.
Wow. Or, you're already giving us business, what can I say, financial advice there that, you know what, guys, I don't know where you're watching us from. Let us know where you're watching us from. But starting a business, and I've seen this woman. How long have you been in business, Bridget?
It's complicated, Summer, because remember,
It's complicated.
it's complicated because I used to sell. If I tell you the beginning of it, it's quite interesting.
Yeah.
I would say maybe 2009. That's when the idea came about.
Okay.
I would move around salons. I started in Bulawayo, by the way, contrary to most people's beliefs. I started in Bulawayo. Around 2009, I had an idea. I spoke to a very great aunt of mine, I call her aunt, but she's my mother-in-law. I told her my idea, and you won't believe the first few products that I sold were probably, she actually loaned me the rands. I think they were about 200 rand. She bought them for me for about 200 rand. And that is where I started in Bulawayo. It was around 2009. 2010, girlfriend got pregnant. No, around 2010, I discovered I was pregnant, so it kind of slowed down a little bit. Then sent some products to Harare for somebody to try and penetrate the market for me, but she she sold everything, or she donated everything and ate all the money. But anyway, that's another story for another day. But I would say officially, maybe
Story of our lives.
Let's say 2013, 2014.
Story of our lives.
Yeah. Sometimes you trust people and they throw you under the bus, but hey, you learn from it, you grow, and you move on.
Yeah, guys, I don't know your story. We want to hear it as well, but you might have tried business and it didn't work, and you come back again. Here's Bridget. She's been standing for all this while. But Bridget, tell me, someone who is looking now to start, I know your auntie, gave you the 200 rands. But if someone who is out there now and I'm advising this stay-home mom or whatever to say, listen, I was talking to Bridgette and this is what she says, what do they need to do?
To be honest with you, the number one thing that you must never do not go and, I don't know what it's called in other countries, but in Zimbabwe they call it chimbazo. That's the number. I made that mistake at some point in my life.
South Africa, it's mashonisa. No mashonisa.
Right. You know, yeah. So for me, I made that mistake at some point in my life. But the number one thing, never, not do not, never go mashonisa way. Because if things don't work out, you are in a worse off position than where you started. So my advice is, if you've got a sister, if you've got an aunt, go in there, borrow 500 rand, borrow $100 and start from there. And sometimes I know people aren't comfortable sharing with family or people around them what they want to do. Make up a story, but just borrow from people around you, close to you, money that has no interest, that you can return over a period of time. That is my advice to a mom that is at home.
Wow. Money that has got no interest. Hashtag no interest, guys. No.
Absolutely.
Interest. Don't go to mashonisas. Do something. And so how do they market this? I mean, you stood the test of time, Bridgette. How have you maintained your customers? How do you keep your customers? And how did you market?
You know what, for me, I always look at people who are starting business now and I'm like, oh my God, if only social media was available, then I could be very far. But for me, mostly it was word of mouth. I'm not going to lie. The way I treat you, Sam, you're going to go and share with a friend shares with a friend. That's really how we have kept and maintained our clientele and increased our clientele base. So that is basically how we have done it. For me, those who know me well, and you probably do a little bit of me, I am very customer oriented. So I will do the way I want to be treated. Simple. Do not complicate that part. Treat your customers the way you want to be treated. They'll keep coming back.
Wow. I love that. No, you said you're a Christian, so you're getting this from the Bible, ne?
But you know, trust me, I mean, from different experiences as well. Hey, I studied abroad a little bit and worked abroad a little bit, and it was for a short time. But then I learned the importance of customer care. But I think for some reason, it's something that was engraved in me, to treat human beings with dignity and respect, by my grandmother and my grandfather. That is something that was engraved by me, I think, because even when I was abroad, I worked in customer service. A foreigner, within a few years, got promoted a little bit here and there, you know. So that's why I'm saying I think it's the values that those two human beings instilled in me that have probably helped me continue with this way of doing things.
Wow. Let's divert a bit. You're talking about values. I mean, for us, we are mothers, we are women. That's why I said AfriMoms. What values, the values that you're talking about, that your grandmother and your grandfather gave you, what is it, some of the things that we can instill in our children now when they're still growing up?
You know, there are really small things sometimes that we take for granted. Your child will call someone fat and you ignore it. It's not right. It's not a good value. You know, you correct them there and there. Just respect, if an adult comes through, good afternoon, good morning. It's simple things, but then they make a huge difference, you know, because what our children of today, most of them, they'll just go past you as if nothing ever happened.
That's true.
You know, and some of you will call you by name, and we call it modern. We call it today's, you know, but then it's those small things that you respect everybody regardless of age, regardless of what they have or do not have in life. You know, because every human being just deserves respect. So those are it's small little things that make a difference. When you are doing them, sometimes you might not see, or you might not think they are having an impact, but they actually do have a huge impact. You know, I remember my daughter, I keep telling her, you can do anything that you want to be. You can be anything that you want to be. Yes. So it's those things that, those values that we instill in our children. In that way, we are not putting them in a box to be A, B, C, or D. Just the work ethic. Your children should be able to do little chores around the house. You cannot have a 6-year-old who cannot wake up to brush their own teeth. They must at least try and pull a bed or a sheet. It's not going to be perfect, but they have done something. Because these days, with most moms, I'm not just say moms, because really this is AfriMoms. We have helpers, we have maids. Our children do absolutely nothing. Your child at 10 years old, they are busy. The aunt is busy washing their panties for them. Boy children, they do absolutely nothing than sit around and just watch TV and play games. What are you doing? Then tomorrow you might have an in-law, a daughter-in-law who's complaining about your child. But it's actually the onus is on you as the mom to instill that value in the boy child, to say, listen, son, you do things around the house. You can cook, you can clean, you can do this for yourselves. So it's those little things that we can do as moms that do make a difference.
You know what? No, at least I should pat myself on the back, because during the December holidays, my son is 9, my daughter is turning 10, 11, and I made them do breakfast dishes. Were not touching, they were doing them. Their beds, they make their beds. And my little one, she's like, so what do I do, Mom? She's 5. When we get out of the table, she picks up, the tomato sauce, the spices. That's her job. She knows that's her job. We've got a full-time helper, but it's life. That
absolutely, absolutely. Because go ahead.
Yeah. All right. I was saying that we become so busy as women who are in business, and we're saying we are doing entrepreneurship, but you are leaving your children at home. That's why I put this in, to say, let's talk about this. Let's understand what it is that we need to instill in our children, even as business women. We don't want to celebrate you there, Bridgette, getting an award, and then your child here is sitting and she's doing funny things to us, and we're saying,
absolutely,
is that the mom?
Absolutely.
So when you are winning the award, win at home as well.
Absolutely, that's great advice. We'll try. I know I'm going to tell you the truth. It's difficult. The balance is so difficult.
That's what I was getting into. How do you balance? Let us know, how do you balance that part? Because you are managing your shop and you are managing these customers, your children, your husband. How are you balancing that?
As the Christian in me will start by saying, it's the grace of God. I'm not exaggerating. I'm not lying. I'm not trying to make it look nice. But the reality is the grace of God. Because honestly, I find myself so tired, so overwhelmed. But basically what I try and do, I've got an assistant at the shop. So some days I literally, like now when it's school holidays, I come to work a little bit late, just to have an hour or so at home. And then in the evening, my way of doing things is I cook and I involve my children in the cooking process. That's another time we can spend together bonding. And the other, like for example, I don't wash dishes anymore. My children, the boy is 15, the girl is 11. The 11-year-old will do dishes during the day, the 15-year-old in the evening. So that time cooking with them after work, it's a little bit of bonding time for us. Over the weekends, we try and play a lot of games as a family. That's basically how I try and balance it. When it comes to my husband, I think he's at a point where he understands that this woman is overwhelmed. So I'm thanking God for that understanding husband as well, because it makes the load a little bit lighter on me.
Wow, I love that. I love that. Let's go to the husband. When you started your business, I know that when you start business, there are no sales and whatever. How was it for you and him? How did you balance that? And was there any support? Because sometimes women don't have support from their husbands when they're, you say you are seeing this big vision, and he's like, you got to bring in the money, girl. I'm not seeing your vision. How was it for you?
It was cringy. That's another way of putting it. It's a nicer way of putting it. I'm not gonna lie, it wasn't easy. He supported me, but when the money wasn't coming, he was thinking, girl, what are you doing? Where is the money? And excuse me, I kept saying to him, listen, it will come at some point. Just be patient with me for a little bit. And let me tell you a funny story. At some point, he gave me money to buy a car quite early on in the business. And this girl was like, buying a car for who? I'm investing this money in the business. And he was angry with me for years.
I get to laugh at that one. What? That's weird. No, man, please, no.
No, because I was so focused on growing the business. It wasn't a priority for me at that point. Neither was it a necessity for me at one point, because he could pick me up and drop me off. I was inconveniencing him, yes, but then my really goal was to grow the business. I wasn't looking at the car. So like I'm saying, there was tension on days when he was busy and couldn't pick me up, or he wasn't free. He'd be like, see, I gave you money to buy the car, those things. But then eventually he understood, because I then had to take the money from the business and buy the car when the time was right. So besides the first days when things weren't so great, he's been supportive, I'm not gonna lie. So I'm grateful for that part. But the first days when the money wasn't coming in, my sister, yes, the questions was, what are you doing? Where is the money? And I'll be like, I don't even have $5 to contribute, my friend. And be like, what are you going to? I'm like, be patient with me, it's gonna come. But now, it's paid off. It's working out. And for the good of everybody.
Wow, guys, these are stories that are real. Are you in Africa? Do you have a different story than her? Because with me, I was told you are an accountant, go and look for a job for accounting.
And you are thinking, no. And you are thinking, I'm an entrepreneur. I'm not an accountant. So what are you saying to me?
The struggle is real. The struggle is real. But you know what, Bridgette? Please, talking on the finances, I'm now hearing you saying the business has paid off and you've managed to buy a car. How do you balance the finance? Because like now, someone you would say, okay, get a no interest loan from your relatives, and they start these cosmetics. Me now, when 500 comes, 500 has come. So I don't know what the profit there. How do you balance these finances for someone who is starting, or for even a seasoned business person? You ask them, do you have a business account? They don't have. So please take us on the finances.
I think for us to grow as women, especially when you're growing a business, I didn't get it right the first years. I got it also wrong. But let me just say, for someone who's starting out, remember, your aim is to grow the business so it can sustain you in the future. If you are starting out, if you get 500 Rand, you make a profit of 500 Rand, but you've got pressing needs, by all means, my request to you is eat 400 Rand, invest the 600 Rand back in the business. So it means you've reinvested 100 Rand into the business, little by little. Do not expect to invest the 500 at once, because maybe sometimes you've got literally, for example, if you are the sole breadwinner, your kids need food, you need shelter, all those things. So you can even say, all right, I've made 500. You can even say, maybe I'll take half and reinvest into the business. Now I've got 750. The next month from the 750, you get 750. As you go, you'll find that your business will grow that way. But the most important thing I will say is, whatever happens, please do not eat the money that you started business with, your capital, do not touch it, because the moment you touch your capital, there is no business. That's it. There is no business. I would say eat 100 Rand profit, eat 200 Rand profit, but do not touch your capital.
Period. You finished it, guys. I hope you had that stressing of please don't eat the seed. I'm enjoying myself, guys. Where are you watching from? This is AfriMoms, and we are with Bridgette today. She's got her company is called Evenhand Cosmetics. You can find her on Facebook. You can find her on Instagram, and she's in Harare, in Zimbabwe, in Bulawayo. She's got a branch as well. But you know what? Bridgette delivers to everywhere. Where are you in Africa? Connect with her. If you want to get mentorship from her, well, the struggle is real. She has laid it all out. I'll leave her details down below where you can contact her, for mentorship, where you can contact her for cosmetics, because she's got different cosmetics. But Bridgette, you always, please explain this thing that you're always showing us all these different cosmetics that we've never seen in this world. Where do you get your things from?
When I was starting the business, my idea, I always have so many different ideas going through my head, by the way. But for me, I discovered that why I went into cosmetics and hair care rather. I love to see a confident woman. A confident woman would not be trampled upon. A confident woman will not be told you are ugly and they start believing that. They'll tell you, no, sorry, you don't mean me. I'm not ugly, I'm beautiful. So for me, it's all about that confident woman. Anyway, I was digressing a little bit. So my skincare journey has evolved. It's no longer just about any type of skincare. It's about the best skincare that the world has to offer. There is the internet. Surely, we have the world at our fingertips. Our cosmetics come from all over the world. If I say all over the world, I mean all over the world. We have some of the best skincare, in case you didn't know, is Asian skincare, not as in China skincare. That's not what I mean. The South Koreans, the Japanese have got some of the best skincare in the world. We do get some things from there. We got the USA, we got to the UK, and a few bits from South Africa. However, South Africa, we don't get any makeup from South Africa for other different reasons that I'm going to mention here. I'm not going to mention here, but it's mostly to do with the quality and the factories. If stuff is made from different factories, the quality tends to be different. So for us, we just stick to the Europe and the USA because the quality and the factories are the same, so it doesn't compromise our standards. That's where our products really, they come from all over the world. We actually get some stuff from West Africa, by the way.
Guys, are you in West Africa? You can be a supplier. Wow, Bridgette, you know what? I feel like I've enjoyed hearing about the business, hearing about life, grooming this woman to be the confident woman that she is. Hey.
Let me interrupt you. I forgot to mention something when it comes to skincare.
Uh-huh.
The skincare world is being dominated by Caucasians. They're the ones who've been making skincare for us. But for years, they've been selling us things that are not for us. So, absolutely, yes. But, other women of color have come up and they said, no, this cannot continue. It's not okay. We have to come up with our own skincare, or if we're not coming up, we are forcing the big brands to at least comply and make skincare that's good for us. If I were to tell you something today, everybody would look at me and be like, girl, are you crazy? Do you know that for us, fragrance is not even a good thing in our skincare? Let me just leave it there. But hey, for me, when
my eyes are popping.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Let not blow your mind. But then for me, I do my research. I listen to the right people who deal with our skin type. That's why you see somebody who's got For example, somebody who's got eczema, their eczema never goes away because they keep they are given the wrong products to deal with their eczema or their acne. So
Yeah.
it's a challenge. So I'm trying to bring the best products that are gonna help women be confident in their skin and who they are.
Wow. So it's going beyond, guys. It's going, what she's doing is going beyond just you buying a lipstick, just you buying skincare, just you buying hair care. She's now gone and researched these things. You can start small, you can start like how she was doing, selling to salons, but now she's even gone further and have done the research. What is stopping you, African woman? What is stopping you? She's done
Absolutely
it.
nothing. Yeah.
She's there, contact her and get talking. I love, Bridgette, the way you are going. Listen, oh my God, it's been 30 minutes, girl. You know what? Just leave us with something. Let's hold something else besides all the notes that I've taken. What can you leave us with?
I think for me, like I said, what made me start this business, I love a confident woman. Mm-hmm. We, as women, you can meet people who are cruel, who are harsh. These, I'm going to put it out there, these husbands of ours, not all of them are nice, not all of them are encouraging to us. Some women are depressed because they keep being told, you are not this, you are not like that. But if you are confident in who you are, that can never bother you an ounce. And if it bothers you enough, you are strong enough and confident enough to walk away.
Thank you.
For me, my aim is to build a confident woman who believes in themselves. If you are confident as a mom, mm-hmm. you will bring up confident children.
Come on.
The community around you is going to be confident. You are not going to go around looking down on other people. You'll be encouraging them because you are confident in who you are. So my word of advice to AfriMoms is, when you start your businesses, number one, have faith.
Okay.
Without faith, I'm telling you, you will stop. Literally, because it's not going to be easy. It's not a walk in the park. I've walked this road. There are days where I'm like, girl, are you going to continue tomorrow? Because it is that difficult. But if you have faith, if you are consistent, consistency is key. Our consistency, ladies. Don't start today, stop. No, people won't trust and believe. I'll give you an example. If you rear chickens, this month you have chickens, 3 months you don't have, 4 months, you won't have a consistent clientele. If I know that Samu does chickens, Samu, can I get 10 chickens a month? You know you've got a client who's Bridgette, who's consistently going to buy 10 chickens a month, as long as I maintain my end of the bargain, which is supplying the chickens and having good customer care. I know I've got a customer for life.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm saying consistency is key. So I can talk all day, but I love a confident woman, and it's not going to be easy, but it can be done.
Come on, guys. She's speaking my language. She's speaking my language. Don't be they say, don't be a jack of all trades and a master of none. Because you've had Bridgette, she's doing cosmetics. You had another one that is doing Russians that I've been interviewing. You had another one that is doing kids transport. You can't be in all this. Find yourself. For me, it's stay in your lane. Find yourself.
Absolutely.
And go for it. I'm online, Bridgette. Let me tell you. I'm online. This is my space. You will not find me selling hair. You will not, but you will find me on the camera, in front of the camera. That's why I even teach camera confidence. I'm online and I've run my race that now people are beginning to come to me and say, Samu, how can we do this? Someone teach us this, because I've been consistent with being here.
Online.
Thank you so
yes.
much. Thank you so much, Bridgette. I appreciate your time. and I'll get all your details and I'll leave them down below, guys. Bridgette is loaded. I've not even started because she talked about Asia. She talked about that means she's what importing these things, and we need to know the process of doing that. And
exactly,
she's building a confident woman. She's building a confident woman. We need to know the process of doing that. How makeup, how hair, how my skin can make me to be confident. Here she was just talking about a business. Watch out for part 2, or if you're in my private group, that's where she's coming. So if you want to join my private group, this is my private group on Facebook. Look for it, click. That's where I'll be hosting Bridgette, not on YouTube, but we'll come back. Bridgette, thank you so much, girl.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Hey, the time wasn't enough, but there's still a whole lot to talk about. So see you in part 2.
Yes, you guys, you heard it. This is Samugumbi, the mompreneur, and subscribe. Smiling is my trademark, guys.